Salutations, friends, and welcome back to another episode of From the Vault with me, your host, Eveline. This is a series where I go back over the videos that I recorded over the last couple of years but never really finished or posted. Today we're doing a sewing video. Hello, and we have a special guest today. So last year I did a quick and easy sewing project that was some quarter circle skirts that I used a pattern for. I made 3 of them. They're very autumnal. They are really cute. I'm actually wearing one of them right now. And yeah, I filmed it and never edited it and put it out. And so today we're gonna go back and I will walk you through the process of making these. Super easy. It is a very simple project to make, so if you want some cute skirts for this coming autumn season, then these are really easy to make. I actually used only a yard or a yard and a half of fabric each for each of these skirts, so also very budget friendly. I would recommend, however, going for 2 yards, that way you can make half circle skirts. I think the half circle skirts just have a little bit more flow to them. I think they swish a little bit nicer, but not to say that these skirts aren't good. I wear these skirts all the time, so this skirt in particular I wear constantly. I have not stopped wearing it since I made it, So yeah, I don't want this intro to take very long. I just kind of want to jump right into it, and then I will go ahead and film the reveal and give you an outro at the end of it. So yeah, let's hand it over to voiceover Eveline. So to start, you're going to want to be in your coziest pajamas and your cutest little mouse slippers. You're also going to want your hair just to be an absolute travesty. Don't even bother running your fingers through it after you wake up. Just leave it be, let it do what it wants. Lay out your fabric flat on the ground. The best way to make sure that it is as flat as possible is obviously just to plank down on it, lay face down, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a nice fluffy assistant. The fluffier, the better. This is extremely important for this project. Now, I used a pattern for this project, but essentially this is just a quarter circle skirt pattern. It requires about a yard of fabric, at least mine did. But if I were to make these again, I would go ahead and get 2 yards and make a half circle skirt. I just think they're a little bit more flowy, but I was using materials that I already had and I didn't have enough to make the whole half circle. So I went with the quarter circle, and I think they turned out really cute. You can find a calculator for all kinds of circle skirts online, but if you're feeling lazy, here are all the equations for a full, half, and quarter circle skirt. You can go ahead and pause and take notes if you'd like. Pin your pattern down or mark out your measurements and cut your pieces. You're going to need 2 panels for the skirt, the front and the back, 2 long rectangles for the button placket, one that is 2 inches by 10 inches, and one that is 3 inches by 10 inches. You could skip this and just put in a zipper, but I wanted to do buttons. I think they're just a little bit cuter. And your waistband should be 3 inches by your waist measurement, and then I always add just a couple of extra inches for the button overlap and just in case I measure wrong. And finally, you're going to need 2 rectangles that are 6 inches by 9 inches with 1 corner cut off of them to make your pocket if you would like one. Lay down your first panel and pin the pocket to one side about 4 inches from the top, and pin the button placket to the other side of the panel, lining it right up with the top. In order to make sure both panels line up, I pinned the pocket and the placket onto the second panel while I was laying flat on top of the first. And once those are attached, lay both panels down, right sides together, and pin together the side seam. A tip that I have to keep the pockets lined up, since they tend to slip when you're sewing them, is to pin the panels together along the already sewn pocket seam to hold it in place while you pin together the pocket itself. I also pinned the button placket closed, but you're going to want to leave that open. You don't want to sew that closed. If you're putting in a zipper, just make sure that you leave the top 5 to 8 inches open so that you can put the zipper in later. The length that you're opening is obviously going to depend on the length of your zipper. Sew up your side seams and turn the skirt right side out. With the smaller placket, turn it into the skirt completely. This is going to be the side with the buttonholes on it. Fold it in half and pin it to hide the raw edge. For the other half of the placket, fold the rectangle over and fold the raw edge over again, lining it up where you're going to sew it down with the already existing seam. Before you sew that, you're going to want to pin the waistband to the skirt and sew that together, right sides touching. Before you turn the waistband over, you're going to want to fold it in half and just sew the very ends of it together, and then you can flip the band inside out and it should leave you with the ends all nice and clean and crisp. To finish the waistband, flip the skirt inside out and start folding and pinning the raw edge just over the seam where the waistband is already attached to the top of the skirt. You can then flip it right side out again and stitch right along the waist seam to tack the other side down. This is called stitching in the ditch, and it's just a good way to hide your top stitching. You'll see me several times leave edges raw and uncovered on this project, and that's because I cut a lot of the straight edges on the selvage so they won't fray over time. I also top stitched along the very top edge of the waistband, and I took the opportunity to also top stitch both of the placket pieces into place. I did all of this 2 more times with the 2 other fabrics that I had, and then I hung them on my dress form to stretch and warp overnight. You want to do this with circle skirts in particular because pretty much the whole hem is cut on a bias, and so leaving it to hang will allow that hem to sort of stretch and get all warpy, and then you can just go back, lay it flat, and trim it all off. I also added buttons and buttonholes, but I apparently have no footage of that, so you'll just have to use your imagination on that one. Sorry. Again, I filmed this a year ago, so some of the footage either got lost or I just never filmed it in the first place. I evened out the hems and finished all 3 skirts with a 1/2-inch rolled hem, and I had 3 new skirts for the autumn and the winter. And that's going to be it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment. And if you want to see more of me, more sewing content, more autumn content, it's going into autumn season, it's spooky season, we're going to be doing more Halloween, more autumn specific content for the next couple of months. So feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you. I try to upload every Friday. Obviously, sometimes life gets in the way, but I have an Etsy store where I've been selling some cute little Halloween floral sculptures. I'll insert a picture here. Oh, and hopefully by the time that this video goes up, there will be a couple of more products up in the shop that are spooky and cute and creepy. Yeah, just a reminder, last Friday of every month, that is every month, not just during spooky season, I do a Halloween / fall themed video, DIY painting vlog. It's spooky vibes last Friday of every month. Coming up this month, and then also going into October, it's going to be all autumn, all spooky vibes, all Halloween vibes. So if you want to see all that, again, feel free to subscribe. And that's going to be it. I think that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the project. I hope it inspired you to make some cute little skirts of your own, and yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and don't forget to wash your hands. Goodbye.